Who is sabotaging the Building Bridges initiative process? That's the question which most Kenyans are currently asking. Because let's face it, the Building Bridges initiative process can only be sabotaged by two groups of people. The first group which can sabotage this process is the deep state. So probably the deep state has realized that if this document is subjected to a referendum, it's going to fail. So the best thing they can do is to sabotage it so that we don't have a referendum. They can also do this because they want to introduce new changes to the document. They realize some sections of this document are very unpopular. So they want a room to allow Parliament to make certain changes to this document. There is also the chance that the deep state might want to sabotage this process as a strategy to undermine the handshake. So the deep state is one group which can sabotage this process. The second group which can sabotage this process is the people who are opposed to this document. Can we safely say that the Deputy President William Samoei Ruto is the one sabotaging this process, and those who are allied to him or are sympathetic to him? And that takes us to the question of the IEBC. Who is controlling the Electoral and Boundaries Commission? And why do you think President Uhuru Kenyatta decided finally to advertise for the positions, the vacant positions of the commissioners of IEBC? Is it possible that the three commissioners were sabotaging this document and the president has realized this? So he announced these vacant positions to be filled so that he can have his people at the commission. Those are the questions which need to be answered. Because the BBI process is very simple and very clear. Let me take you through what the Constitution is saying about this process. The Constitution says clearly that we can change the Constitution through a popular initiative or parliamentary initiative. The Building Bridges initiative process is a parliamentary initiative. So the Constitution of Kenya, Article 257, talks very clearly on this process, amendment by popular initiative. I want you to listen very closely because it's very difficult to change this document. It says, number one, an amendment to this constitution may be proposed by a popular initiative signed by at least 1 million registered voters. So which means if you want to change the constitution, the only thing you need is to prove that you have 1 million registered voters as supporters of the initiative. Number two, it says a popular initiative for an amendment to this constitution may be in the form of a general suggestion or a formulated draft bill. In the case of the BBI, we have the draft bill. And this is the document which has been subjected to the changes, the draft bill. And I want you to listen. It says, number three, if a popular initiative is in the form of a general suggestions, the promoters of that popular initiative shall formulate it into a draft bill. Of course, we are talking of a draft bill because this was in the form of a draft bill. Number four, it says the promoters of a popular initiative shall deliver the draft bill and the supporting signatures to the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, which shall verify that the initiative is supported by at least 1 million signatures. So basically, this is now we are getting to the meat. Once you have the bill and once you have the 1 million signatures, then you deliver it alongside the supporting signatures to the IEBC. So the BBI team did that. So they submitted this document to IEBC. The draft bill, their draft bill, they submitted their draft bill to the IEBC. So what happens after that? If the Independent and Boundaries Commission is satisfied that the initiative meets the requirement of this article, the commission shall submit the draft bill to each county assembly for consideration within 3 months after the date it was submitted to the commission. I hope you are listening. It is very simple. The work of the IEBC is that after they verified that there's 1 million signature, which they did. Remember, even for the IEBC to verify these 1 million signatures, they gave so many stories at some stage, including demanding for more money for them to verify, for them to verify their signatures. And the government had to give in and give them money. When Punguza Mzigo initiative submitted their signatures, IEBC never asked for any money to verify those documents. They just told Kenya sometimes that the initiative, the Punguza Mzigo initiative, met the requirement. But when BBI process submitted their signatures, IEBC claimed that they needed millions of money to verify the signatures. Now, number 6 is if a county assembly approves the draft bill. So basically what it means is that the moment they've satisfied that there's 1 million signatures, then IEBC is supposed to take the draft bill. And that draft bill, they're supposed to submit it to county assemblies within 3 months. And if a county assembly approves the draft bill within 3 months, after the date it was submitted to the commission, the Speaker of the County Assembly shall deliver a copy of the draft bill jointly to the Speaker of the two houses with a certificate that the County Assembly approved. So basically, once the IEBC submits the drafts to the counties, the work of the counties is simple. Debate, either approve or reject, and once they've approved, then they send it to the Senate and to the National Assemblies. And most county assemblies did exactly that. So the question is, if indeed 13 county assemblies debated a fake document, at what stage was that document changed? And who changed it? Who changed that document? And at what stage? Because that stage, the IEBC received a draft bill. So that draft bill is what they ought to have sent to the county assemblies. At what stage did IEBC send or receive additional draft document with errors? And how come some county assembly received a draft bill which is different and others a draft bill which is different? Because my understanding is that once IEBC received the draft bill from the BBI team, so if it was fake, then it ought to have been the same fake document being discussed at the county assemblies. So at what stage did they change? Remember, constitutional changes is not something very simple. Even a comma has a meaning. We can change even a comma can change the meaning of a whole document. So it's not very easy to just go outside there and change, because it is being alleged that there are some county assembly received like some reference to 11B instead of 11C. You get? And that can change the meaning completely. Remember, we even had serious discussions in this country over the shall, may, will, and, or. We've had serious discussions over that. So these changes, who introduced them? Clearly someone is sabotaging the building bridges initiative process. And why do I believe so? Number one, let us look at the court cases. How many court cases have been filed against the building bridges initiative process? 11 court cases. 11. In fact, at some point, the courts now had to decide to consolidate them, I think, into 7. And some of the cases are very funny. That IEBC is not properly constituted to oversee the building bridges initiative referendum. Of course, you have 3 commissioners. IEBC is supposed to have, I think, 7 commissioners. Probably that's why the president decided to announce those vacant positions so that they are failed to deal with this legal challenge of unconstitutional commission. Number 2, they are also saying that the government cannot lead constitutional changes. That if a constitution has to be changed, then it has to come from individuals, ordinary Kenyan. It has to be, if it's a popular initiative, government cannot initiate a popular initiative. So the courts are yet to discuss that. And then the courts are also saying, I mean, one of the court cases is also that IEBC cannot verify signatures since they don't have a database. Of course, if I appended my signature there, how do you prove that that was my signature? IEBC doesn't have that database to prove that indeed those signatures belong to you. Number two, we have had a lot of allegations of doctored documents. This Building Bridges Initiative document. It's not the first time that the bill is being doctored. Those who follow this process closely will tell you that ODM supporters believe strongly that Raila Odinga was shortchanged in this process. They believe strongly because the original document, which recommended 70 constituencies, allocated Migori County additional constituency in Nyatike. It also allocated additional constituency in Karachuonyo in Homa Bay County. A story is being told that there are certain operatives at State House who actually refused to submit the document to Raila Odinga ahead of the official launch by President Uhuru Kenyatta. Raila Odinga had just to cede grounds over those constituencies. And that's why today in this country we are having the legal advisor to Raila Odinga, Paul Mwangi, and James Orengo reading at different levels. Orengo believes we need to change this document to allow the IEBC to change the boundaries, because that would favor Migori and will also favor Homa Bay. Paul Mwangi is saying there's no need of changing this document because any change to this document is going to delay the process. And of course, number three, we've had a lot of underhand dealings during this process. Remember Major Say claiming that the document was not the right document. Immediately, the first document was released. And of course, we could be talking of fake news and propaganda. How did parliamentarians realize that the bill which was discussed or passed at the county assemblies were fake? How? Probably someone is preparing the country for fake news and propaganda so that BBI can be looked at in a very bad light. So the question is, why do you think the Building Bridges Initiative process is being sabotaged? Simple. 4 reasons or 3 reasons. Number one, someone is setting the stage for legal battles. Assuming they will prove that 1 county assembly or 2 county assemblies or even 13 county assemblies received a fake bill, debated a fake bill, and passed a fake bill. Someone goes to court and proves that. Do you think the BBI process will continue? I doubt if any judge will allow the process to continue under that circumstance. So very simple. Someone is setting the ground for legal battles. And that can only be people who are opposed to this document. Number 2, I think it could be a strategy by the deep state, just like I said earlier, to pass the Building Bridges Initiative process through Parliament. The fact of the matter, if you say that the county assembly passed a wrong document, then you take this process to Parliament, because the law is also very clear that from the county assemblies, it was going to go to Parliament, and Parliament was not going to make changes to the document. They were either going to pass it or reject it. So far, the JLAC committee is discussing this document, and basically what Parliament can only do is to change typo errors. So if there's a mistake in spelling, they can change, but not alterations. Alterations are not allowed. So if you're saying that the county assemblies discussed a wrong bill, then Parliament is going to fix that probably they are going to alter that document. And lastly, it could be a strategy to frustrate the handshake. In this country, there are people who are not supportive of the handshake, and they are all over. So they want to frustrate the handshake. So today in this country, Raila Odinga is really pushing for the Building Bridges Initiative process. Uhuru Kenyatta is pushing for the BBI. But there's a deep state, which some of them are opposed to the BBI. So they want to use it to frustrate the handshake. I don't know what you think. I want to read your comments. Who do you think is behind the strategy of sabotaging the Building Bridges Initiative process? Let me read your comments. And again, if you're watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two and click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to thank you guys for your continued support. You can see the way I'm very shaggy. I'm very shaggy. Yeah, but because I'm still under isolation, finishing today. So tomorrow I'll see my baba. I'll be neat for the first time. My hair has never been this level. But it's okay. Thank you guys, and please may you have a good day.